How's a loud truck? Uh, hey, it's me, David Clayson. It is October 12th, 2023. This past week, Hamas launched attacks on Israel, and Israel responded. And since then, from what I understand, the fights are still going on. People are losing their lives. We've seen demonstrations all throughout the world in support of both sides. And all this stuff, it brings back a memory for me. It was back in 2009, 2010. I was a senior in high school, and I had this classmate. His name was Ollie. And Ollie, for the first half of the semester, he was pretty cheerful, he smiled a lot, he cracked jokes, he liked to have fun. That was the kind of guy he was. And then, we weren't best friends. I would say we were more acquaintances than friends. We were classmates. And he went on vacation for a couple weeks, and I remember him coming back, and it was like a flip of a coin. He left this cheerful guy, a guy that liked to have fun, and he came back. He came back with anger, frustration, and even hate. And the one conversation that I remember from him, and something that I still remember even to this day, and it's weird because every time I hear about Israel, this memory pops up back in my mind. A memory that I haven't shared with anybody, actually. This is the first time I'm vocalized it, but it's a memory of that conversation with him. In that conversation, he bragged about, he was visiting family, and it was in Palestine. And he was Palestinian, I guess, in heritage. I'm not sure if he was born there or what the case was, but he bragged about going with some of his family, his cousins, and some of his friends, driving to the Jewish part of town and throwing rocks at Jews as they drove by. That they were walking down the street and throwing rocks. And I remember him cursing and expressing his hate for Jews. The reason that I remember this memory so well, and I'm reminded, even when it's not about Israel, this memory pops up to my mind, is because of that change for Ollie. From being that happy-go-lucky guy to coming back and having so much anger and hate in him. And I don't know if that was something that maybe he disguised before he left, or if that was something that he got to this region of the world and realized what was going on, and that started the fire in him, or what the case was that flipped that switch. But that was just something, I don't know, that was just something I remember. And especially now with what's going on in the Middle East and Israel there, it's a memory that's popped back up into my mind. Why do I say this? Why do I share this? To try to put my weight behind a certain side or another? That's not the case. I've seen a lot of Christians, they've expressed, I think everybody, it seems like, is expressing opinions about this. Some Christians are saying these are a sign of the end times. Christians are calling for prayer for Israel. On the worldly side of things, people are on one side of the fence or the other. It doesn't seem like there's ever anybody down the middle of this. And this is a very complex issue that has a long history and so many strings attached to this issue that it can be hard to know what to do. And so I guess the reason I share that memory and the reason I'm making this video is so that I can encourage you to pray. And some of you, as soon as I said that, you're like, prayer, that's all Christians do. That's like their knee-jerk reaction. Prayer doesn't do anything. And if that's you, you probably don't have a relationship with God. And so I understand why you think that, because anything good that's happened in your life, you don't attribute that to God. And so you don't understand the power of prayer. But for those that have a relationship with God, I encourage you to pray. And, it's tough to know what to pray for in this situation. Do you pray for peace? Do you pray for the Palestinians to be able to be relocated somewhere? For the Jews to be able to be relocated somewhere? Do you pray for, I don't know, what do you pray for? And I think because of how complex this issue is, the best thing to pray for is simply for the will of the Lord to be done. And, whatever you're dealing with, personal or you see on the news or whatever, it's always good to pray the will of the Lord because we know that God's will is the best one. And that doesn't mean that going and following His will always be the easiest one, but we know it will be the best one. And so I encourage you, pray the will of the Lord over the situation, pray for peace there, pray for a ceasefire, as we have innocent lives on both sides of the lines, both sides of the line that's being lost. And just start praying. Again, I know even in the Christian world, there's opinions, there's thoughts on all of this. But I guess I'm making this video to call you to pray. Just, as soon as this gets done, pause from your YouTube scanning of videos and just say a little prayer to the Lord. Ask Him, His hand to be at work in that region. Ask for protection over innocent lives. And ask for His will to be done. And so, do that right now. As when this video's ending, pause it right now if you want or whatever. I'm not going to add anything else really, but pray. Pray to the Lord, ask that His will be done in this region because it's needed. It's needed a lot. With that, guys, go pray. Be blessed. We'll talk to you later.